Manchester United is a big name, and it was for me it's a real challenge, and to get them again, say restore there where they belong, and I'm highly motivated to get that done.
People inevitably focus on the big stars at Manchester United. There is none bigger than Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you know when you're going to be able to speak to him? Do you know when you're going to get any kind of clarity over when he's going to come to training? You said before that you want him in your team.
Clear, he's not for sale. I planned with him, and I'm looking forward to work with him. But for the rest, I cannot say anymore, because the situation is still the same as last week.
In terms of the recruitment, you've brought in players already. You're clearly shaping the squad in the way that you want to do it, but it's been quite clear that you've been looking for a midfield addition. We know all about Frenkie de Jong and the attempts to try and get him. How key is that signing, whether it's de Jong or anybody else? How key will that be in terms of creating the team that you want?
I think we have already good midfield players, that first, and with Christian Eriksen as the signing, I'm really happy, and he will strengthen the midfield. But that kind of the type of player, what you describe, I think it's necessary in the squad. And of course, we have players who can fill it in, and we will do it if we cannot find the right player, and then we will develop a player in that position. I think Christian Eriksen, he brings the creativity in the squad, and he will play in the offensive midfield. I think also play in a lower position. I think he's really experienced, from different leagues, Italy, Holland, and especially I think England. So he will bring a lot to the team in that fact, in our way in possession, but I think also out of possession. And Martinez, that's a player who I call it is a warrior. He will bring aggressiveness, and he will not contribute to the team, and I think the fans will love it. He's a strong guy, and duels is one of his capabilities, and also his motivation is really high, and he will bring that motivation also in the team.
We've heard a lot about your desire to play a high press. You mentioned it in a previous press conference. Ralf Rangnick tried to implement that, and it just didn't work. Why will it work for you?
I cannot talk about what is in the past. I know only I have my ideas, how I bring structure in the team, and I do it in every topic of football. And for me, pressing, it's an important factor. It's if you want to have initiative in a game, and then I think it's necessary. And if you do that in a high block or in a low block, that is a tactic, and that can be in both ways. I prefer to do it in a high way, in a high pressing, but that will be not always the case. There's also situations, games that you are lower, but what I demand from my team is that they press.
We've obviously seen a lot of young players on this trip, and this club is built on young talent, but there are obviously the need for more signings, I'm guessing. So how do you balance those two, and are there any players that have caught your eye that perhaps you weren't as aware of before you joined the club?
No, the most of those players I didn't know, and therefore it's the pre-season, and especially this tour, and then you get them to know, and I have a good impression from them, and of course when they are good enough I will play them, and despite their age, it doesn't matter, and it's about always the question about how good you are.
Did you have to seek any assurances from the owners? Have you spoken to the Glazer family? What's your take on that situation?
Yes, I have spoken with them, and they told me they want to get success, and that is the only thing they want, and that is what they expect from me, to bring the success.